today. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. And this one will not be handled. It's into the end zone for a touchback. Colts ready to go to work here offensively, and it is Phillip Rivers, their veteran quarterback and longtime Charger, who will be under center.
I don't know what it is, partner, but every time I watch Phillip Rivers play, I just have a big grin on my face because he... plays the game with such joy, loves being out there. Remember, he's part of that great 2004 class with Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, two of them still in the league today. Now he's probably going to go over 60,000 passing yards and 400 touchdowns this season. The big question mark, how much does he have left in the tank? I think he's got plenty.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's got it to Hilton. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Don't do us like that.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
The ball carrier, Jonathan Jones on the tackle. It's a gain of 2. 3rd down and 13.
3rd and long for Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
By Baltimore.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That ball complete to Isabella. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins. But he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
He was brought down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, you try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. So they lost yardage and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore's set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number one seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
A gain of
33 yards that time.
First down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Ball carrier.
J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 20 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And they will watch this one land in the end zone. That'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. He's got Jack Doyle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Number 42.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Rivers. Left side, Doyle with it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
The pickup of 6.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. To throw again on 2nd down. Rivers, middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 17-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. from the red zone now. Rivers. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. To try again after the sack. Rivers under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hole.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
At the 44-yard line.
Remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers fighting Hilton on the slant. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
1st and 10.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Complete to Hilton. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run for it. It's Mack. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still 1st half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you pointed out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation.
There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now another drive coming for Phillip Rivers and the Colts. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Yeah, they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. This one caught by Isabella. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
First down, Baltimore.
This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining. This throw caught at about the 5. And with the clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was.
Around the NFL. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
28-yard gain.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. And
I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it.
Intercepted by the Ravens.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Incomplete.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Able to find Isabella. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back? The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. From the gun, Rivers. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
Fair catch made.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
49-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
First down.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella there to make the grab. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Montez Sweat. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rivers looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Doyle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Montez Sweat. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 3rd quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Jackson's pass.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
At the Ravens' 17-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Rivers over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hand.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Montez Sweat in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
Throw left side complete to Isabella. And he'll be out of bounds. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Ravens add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be fielded. It's a touchback and comes out to the 25. The Colts set to take over here offensively. Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Throw left side complete. It's Doyle. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
1-yard gain. Brings up
the last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Rivers, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The rookie Michael Pittman, the intended receiver that time, and it's 3rd down. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game. We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
4-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
A pickup of
2nd and goal from inside the 5. One more time with Dobbins. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll watch this one fall in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Time for the next drive. We'll see what tight end Jack Doyle and the rest of this offense can do. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now, they know he's out there. They've made a few adjustments, surrounded him with a few more people, a few different coverages. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now. Does he change up a few things to try and work his way open?
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Montez Sweat in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. And that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Rivers, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Montez Sweat in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They go play action with Jackson. It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this one will not be handled. It's into the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, Rivers. This goes underneath to Doyle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A first down throw here for Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter. The situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beat.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Today's final score.
A big offensive experience.